There's nothing more humbling and inspiring
and attractive
than witnessing somebody be truly and uniquely exceptional.
Except, of course, for their journeys. Maybe it's luck.
Maybe it's genetics.
Maybe it's work ethic.
Scott and I wanted to see if we could discover what makes some of the universe's most incredible humans the successes they've become, and ultimately find out exactly how they became
So good.
So good. How did you do it? How did you do it? You're so good.
Hey, you guys, welcome back to You're So Good. Today, our guest is the amazing Jonathan Van Ness. He is a hairdresser, podcaster, comedian, television personality. He's probably best known for being on the massively successful Netflix show Queer Eye. And he also has this hilarious web series called Game of Thrones that I'm obsessed with. And today, he is going to tell us a little bit about his journey. Hope you guys love it. Hi, you guys. It's Scott.
And Rozzi.
And this is our new podcast.
You're so good.
Where we interview people that are the best at what they do. And the guest we have
obnoxiously
today
good.
is really good at a lot of things.
This one's kind of stressful because there's like too many skills to point to.
We have a lot to cover. Everyone welcome Jonathan Van Ness. I was going to say all your accolades. Okay, see, we're bad podcasters. No, I was going to say all your accolades first, but then Jonathan Van Ness, the Jonathan Van Ness.
Welcome.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Like we were saying before, we're terrified because other than being starstruck, you are a literal podcast like celeb.
No.
So you're an expert.
I've just been doing it for actually, I guess it's not that. Everyone has no offense, lots of people have a new podcast, and I love that because podcasting is constantly growing and it's evolving and it's such a burgeoning moment that I'm getting curious. I started in the end of November of 15 but I mean, there's so many podcasts that I'm obsessed with that were like around like from the beginning. Like one of my very favorite ever is Throwing Shade.
What's that one?
That's with Aaron Gibson and Brian
show,
Shaffey.
right?
Yep. Yeah. And that one has been around. And it's really funny and so smart and so just very smart. And like Presidential I love, Serial I love, and all those have been around for a hot minute.
Yeah. Well, ours is really casual because it's just our friendship on air. That's
that's
it is.
great.
Yeah.
We've actually had so much fun doing it
We've
too.
had the
I
most
always
fun
leave
doing
like buzzing with inspiration.
Yeah,
I'm,
just
so
learning.
excited.
Because the point of the podcast is we Scott and I are obsessed with working hard. Like we both just love to have a dream and follow it and get from A to B. That's like our original friendship. Like we bonded on that level. And so this podcast is basically just bringing on people who are amazing at stuff and like learning from them. It's inspiring.
Well, I don't really feel like I'm like amazing stuff to your first thing. I just am like moderately okay at multiple things.
Yeah.
Like multiple things. Like, because I like a lot of different things, but I do tend to like hyper focus on one of them at a time until I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm like, okay, I feel like I understand you. And then like I still do it, but then there's like other things like because I can only focus on so many things at once.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Should we go through all the things you're good at? Just so
let's list
everyone
it.
knows who you are already. But hairdresser, groomer,
activist, ice skater, Michelle Kwan, our Instagram friends,
comedian,
and we talk about it.
We're actually IRL friends.
Okay, well,
we're
stop
not
bragging.
just Instagram friends. Just so you know.
Podcaster.
Yes. And
comedian,
I sold out Radio City.
Congrats. Yes.
That was really
that's so sick.
But more importantly than selling out Radio City, I got my mom and dad under the same roof. And
my God.
That was really, really, really cute. They were both there.
That's amazing.
And that was very surreal for my little baby, like inner child. It was really fun. My whole family was there. I had tons of flowers. I nailed a standing back tuck. Do you want to hear like that? Do you want to hear the backstory of Radio City? Of like just the ins and outs of the weekend of that show? Okay. So it all started the night before Radio City. Actually, it started way before that when like contracts and blah, 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 but no one wants to hear that story. So really, it's like Radio City and the night before I played Pittsburgh. And when we got to Pittsburgh, I had 2 shows and the fucking stage was pitched, which I don't know if you know what that means, or raked, honey. She was raked. But I mean, she was on a pitch.
Oh, right.
And I was like, I don't know how my tumbling passes are really going to work on this like slightly tilted stage.
So
I was like,
roll your ankle.
but I was like, I bet it won't be that bad. And so I warm up my first standing tuck and it was just pitched enough that I landed like off of my little tumble track thingy. And it just really like my whole little tum-tum kind of got tingly because I was like, ew, I feel like that bruise in my heel in my stomach. But then I was like, ooh, maybe that was just like a random impact and it's not that bad. So then when I warmed up the second one, I was really trying to like land on my little tumble track thing. And so I didn't quite put like enough on it. So I just felt like I was like a little under rotated, which made me like stumble a little bit to like stand up. And then I like fell into an audio box. So then I was like, you know, I was like, I think, and it was also, I should say, like a teensy weensy stage. It was like not as big of a stage as like the wider ones that like I, you know, flip on. So I was like, maybe I just won't do tucks today. I'm just gonna do like some back handspring. So I took it down a notch, but I did definitely bruise my heel. Like I bruised, like I've never bruised my heel before. And so then at Radio City, I was like, I'm just gonna like, I'm not doing the Pamchenko tonight. I'm just, I can't, I don't know if have you seen The Cutting Edge?
No.
You're too young for that. Wow, or all of you guys too young.
Jacob, our engineer, is very excited.
Okay, well,
yeah.
So the Pamchenko, my sweet young babykins, is it's this famous movie from the 90s. It's a figure skating love story between this hockey player who ended up getting a blind spot and he could no longer pursue his dream of becoming an Olympic hockey player. But with said blind spot, he was somehow like inexplicably able to become a Paris figure skater, which my opinion is like requires more ability to like see in your peripheral vision. But he ends up like learning like all of his triples and his like double axel in like literally 6 weeks according to this movie, and they joined together. And
wait, is this a true story?
No, it's just a famous movie from 1991 or two. But have you ever heard anyone be like toe pick?
No.
Wow. Well, there's a very famous movie montage, and honestly, you all should really probably see it. I'm a little embarrassed to having to be the one to tell you about this movie. It's kind of a classic. But yeah, if you ever hear someone go like toe pick, that's what it's from. But yeah, so I forgot what I was talking. So in that movie, there's this move that's very scary. There's another really famous montage in this movie where they're learning the Pamchenko, and then at the Olympics, when they're going out to take their like final spot in their long program, honey, he's shaking his head. He knows everything.
Jacob gets it.
I just watched this movie like 2 weeks ago.
Oh my God!
Good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
My wife has.
It's so great. So as they're taking their spots on the long program, she's like, "It's in," and she's the one who has to get like thrown up, and he's like, "It's out. It's too dangerous," and she's like, "It's in," and he's like, "It's out." She's like, "It's in. It's out. It's in. It's out." And the music starts, and it's like vroom vroom Scott da. It's this like 90s like race car music, and
very
then
acapella.
It is, and then but they totally do the fucking Pamchenko, and so basically at Radio City Music Hall, I was like, I don't think that this is a night for me to do the Pamchenko. I don't want to fall in front of like a sold out crowd. Not to keep name dropping sold out, but I didn't want to like.
No, you should keep name dropping.
I didn't want to do it. So then my little tumbling coach was there, and she's like, "Well, Queen, we have to have like a flip in your routine. It can't be all handsprings and a handstand roll down." And I was like, you're right. I do need a flipping element. You're totally right. So she was like, what about a standing back tuck? And I was like, Eureka, bitch. I have been doing standing back tuck.
Bitch.
But I have never done a standing back tuck in this particular routine. So Emmy's like, well, I think we should warm it up. So we warm up these 3 back tucks backstage. And then as I'm doing my little routine, I like am stepping up to do my standing back tuck. And as I'm about to do it, I was like, oh my God, I hope you don't over-rotate this. I hope you don't fall. I hope your adrenaline doesn't make you forget how to do this. And then I was like, oh my God, you haven't even rehearsed this routine with the standing back tuck in that moment. I'd only been like doing like standing back handsprings in that moment. So then like I stood up and then I was like, oh my God, you're going to miss the peak like, completely. And then I was like, I just did it and I landed. It was totally gorgeous.
God.
I nailed everything.
There's a theme. You were brave. You went for it.
Yes.
You dared greatly.
But what I've realized about my tumbling routine in my tour is that because Julie, who's here, who we love so much, was just telling me last week, she was like, do you realize that you've done all these shows and like you just never mention again that like you do this big like gymnastics tumbling routine in like the middle of the two, like it's like comedy, it's like stand up and then
it's a
like
unique
more stand up,
show.
and then I just come out and I just, there's no explanation. It's just like lights out, there's a tumble track there, lights come on, like, and then I never acknowledge it again.
But I love that about you in general. You just do whatever the fuck you want. You're like, I'm going to be a figure skater now, and then I'm going to like.
It's very hard. I think the only common thing I can think of, like, I'm trying to pinpoint, like, who is Jonathan Van Ness? Like, what is this thing that he's so great at? The only common theme, sorry to just ego you up right now, but is that you do it, you just follow your heart.
And what you're passionate about.
And
that sounds cheesy, but it's so true because a lot of people don't. They try to craft this character, try to craft this career of what they should be doing, and you're just like, I'm going to follow literally what makes me feel good, and that's it.
And I think that's what people fall in love with. But we should let you talk about that because that's the point of this.
No, you're doing great. Yeah. But I also think that it's like really really, I think another little key is that like essentially as long as I have like that captive audience on tour, like I'm just gonna like make you watch routines that my dad wouldn't.
Yeah.
So really, I'm just like healing
That's
my
what it
inner
comes
child.
from.
Yeah. I'm just healing my inner child and making everyone like watch it, with me. And I just think that's gorgeous. How did you
I
guys
love
get so
that.
fucking good at harmonizing and stuff?
You know,
'cause
I'm
we were
not
obsessed
that
with
good at
singing.
harmonizing. I had to really, actually, I am now, but I had to work at that one.
Why don't you
That
guys do a
one.
little baby harmony?
Oh, of
Should we do
course.
Lose Us? I'm feeling without you and I. That's your.
Something has changed. I don't know why. Oh, we've changed parts.
No, I more just meant like an A and a whatever. Like
Oh.
just like literally a note. Wow.
That was so much simpler than what I tried to do.
We were like, okay, let's
my
do
God.
our entire song.
That was like a let.
Why did we panic? This is what we do for a
You
living.
just overcomplicated it, Queen. That's all.
You're right. You're right.
So, can I ask you, because you just dropped a dad thing and like I want to get there,
Yeah.
semi, like, can you tell me who your family is? Like, were they into you? Were they into what you were doing? Were they like, he's a star? Were they like, what did they say?
Actually, my dad just told me this really cute story, which is really cute. He was telling me that his dad once. So my parents got divorced when I was little, when I was like 5, and then
Where are you from?
From like rural Illinois, like 5 hours
Okay.
southwest of Chicago. It's called Quincy. It's like on the Mississippi River. I was about to be like, it's called Illinois. But so I would go to Christmas with my dad's side of the family, and that's when I would really get to like spend the most time with his parents until like much later. And my dad called his dad when we got home, like from the drive back to like my hometown from Bloomington. It was like a 3-hour drive, and he was like, "We're home." And also, I guess I should say, is my family into me? Yes. Did they think I was going to be like you're a star? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Nor did I. And I mean, I really just wanted to be like a hairdresser who didn't need to have anyone help me, like, and like not be in the hospital and like survive was all of my goals. I definitely didn't think that I would. I mean, although when I was little, I really did want to be discovered at a mall, like in the matter of like Britney Spears, like outside of
didn't?
Claire's.
Yeah,
I really
I would
did.
walk through the mall being like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
thinking someone was going to be like, you're a star.
The talent scouts are always there. Everyone
Not
knows.
walking around.
Everyone. I used to do that with, but I would speak. Me and my friend Emily would speak like fake French or like fake
my
languages,
God.
like in the mall, because we were like, okay, then people will really think that we're cool.
Like,
Well,
special.
why? Yeah,
they're bilingual.
yeah. They're like, wow, like who are these like French kids? who can
International
sing?
models.
Yes.
I love that.
Okay, but you're in the middle of a story. Your dad's with those.
Oh
people.
yeah. So he called his parents to be like, oh, like we're home, and when his dad answered the phone, he was like, John, which is my dad. That kid's gonna be famous someday. and my dad was like, I wish I would have known like what you said to him to make him say that, because in my memory, like that grandfather was a doctor, and he was very like, he like was like a pilot in the Korean War. He was like very stern. Like I remember one time when I was 8, I called him to be like, why are calico cats like always female? And he launched into this like whole genetic explanation of it, and like he was yelling talking explaining it to me for like 40 minutes. And the first time I like chimed in to ask a question, he was like, well, if you'd shut up, I'm trying to tell you. And I had like 5 conversations with him and I think I cried leaving like 4 of them before the age of like 14,
Right.
because he was just very like
Intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what I was going to say about that. But my dad was just saying like, I wish you would have known what you said. And I was like, it was probably something about like donkeys, or like, like donkeys and camels, or
just
you know,
free.
I was really like curious about like animals, and like when I was little. And like the I-70 killer, and not dying in a way that like would have you die on Unsolved Mysteries. Like Unsolved Mysteries really stressed
You wanted
me
to be
out.
safe.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be safe.
I get it.
Or
I
like
get
if
that.
you died, like people would know why. That was important.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I really just was. I feel like Unsolved Mysteries and tabloids were, when I was little, I was like, oh my god, like I will. Terrifying. I was like,
Yeah.
if someone was like a puppy or whatever, I was like, no.
So you could sing. That was high.
Yeah, you
No,
didn't
that
know.
was a scream.
They're sisters.
I have a question. When you were a kid, did you butch it up at all for your parents, or were you just like acting like you do now?
Okay, so when I was in 5th grade, I there's no one I loved more than Leanne Rimes and Hanson. And,
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then there was nothing
Texas
more that I
queen.
also loved than to just wear like matching monochromatic sweatsuits with like really, really tall. They were like off the shoulder on the top. I hated button snaps and zippers, so I was all about like elastic
Comfort.
bands and like sweatsuits.
Juicy
And-
couture.
She knows what she likes.
Yeah.
but pre that, honey.
Pre-juicy,
Like
okay,
we
yeah.
didn't have there was no Juicy Couture in Quincy, Illinois. Well, maybe 2006 there was, but I was already long gone by then.
Yeah.
So no, I didn't, and I really like couldn't. I think I probably tried to butcher up the most on Grindr and Scruff in the day, just like at the beginning, just like trying to fool him long enough in the Mask for Mask era to just to
Mask
get
for
him,
Mask era.
just to get him
What's
over
that
in
era?
the first.
Like masculine for
It's like,
masculine.
yeah.
Oh my
And I'd
God.
be like, totally, sup, bro? Yes, I am.
I'm glad those days are
Bro.
kind of over.
Yeah, what a boring.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
now I can't even like I haven't been on a Grindr or a Scruff in such a long time. I'm kind of like Meghan Markle. Like I had to delete all my accounts.
Oh my God.
I really did. I can't even have like a Finsta Grindr or Scruff.
You can't, it's
I'm
just-
just like fully Meghan Markle.
You're
I
like-
do kind of feel like Meghan Markle in terms of like instead of like marrying.
You
a
remind me
prince,
of
like
Meghan
I
Markle.
got
Yeah,
like
same.
I got like super like successful.
Oh my God. Way to go.
You're a prince.
Can I ask you why you. Here's my question. Why do you think you became successful? What is it?
To tie it back to the storyline of your podcast, I think that I do have like an abnormally high work ethic and a really high tolerance for rejection.
Oh,
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Because you're not so sensy about it. You just keep it rolling.
Right?
have to
Because
keep
sometimes
moving.
people fail
Yeah.
one time and they're like,
I mean, I
knew
always
it.
say that. Like, I'm a singer songwriter, and I've been signed and dropped multiple times. I've been through the ringer with it, and I always say to people, like, if I could quit, I would. It's not like it'd be so nice to not have a literal calling, but like my whole body, all my cells, everything in me is like, sorry, like this is who you are, this is what you do, and so giving up isn't really an option. So it's not. So I don't know if that's really the same thing, but it's like rejection can come and it sucks, but you have to be like, okay.
Yeah.
This is
Right.
who I am.
It's a part of life, and there's no way like around it or above it, or you just like you really have to go through it. But it's like not that it happens. It's like you know how you deal with it.
Right. All right, you guys, it's time for my sweet angel of a boyfriend / our mixologist on the show, Mark Manio, to make a drink.
Time for a drink. Made by Scott's boyfriend. Time to get wasted.
Should we do the drink?
Oh my God,
now?
yeah.
So every
Okay, great.
podcast, we try to figure out what type of drink our guest is. And yours, well, for convenience sake, we just brought this.
Partially that reason.
It's sparkling water that's spiked. And here's why. Oh, he's the face.
really? Oh,
Well,
no.
I already hate sparkling water, but if there's
No,
other
no.
stuff in it,
We've been
not to be that like a bitch, but
No,
whenever
be
people are like
honest.
sparkling,
No,
like
be
barf,
yourself.
like that fucking
Authenticity.
salty goddamn. I'm just like this water's fucking ruined.
No.
And there's
Okay.
people that are probably
we got way too
thirsty.
we got way too cocky because
we-
There's
we've
like
been
lime
killing
and
it.
like guava and other stuff in it that maybe it's adorable.
That's so funny. We've been
my God.
killing
Mint.
it so hard with the
Literally-
drink guessing that we
Is
just
it
got too
mint?
confident.
It's
it's
sugar,
not mint.
grapefruit, and mango.
Oh, I'm into those.
Yeah.
Okay, but
oh, that's
but
good.
It's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
bubbly.
and
Okay, well, you don't have to
Bubbly.
drink one, but
bright, feels good.
Yes.
we
I like all
we were
those
like
things.
4 in a row of them being like, I drink nothing else but that.
Yeah,
And we
we
were
really
like,
got
we
it.
fucking
Oh my
killed
god!
it.
And then we
You
just
know what
lost
is?
it. You're a curveball.
I was you know what? I'm really working with my inner people pleaser these days, and I'm telling her to calm down.
Good for you.
Because she's been too much, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just like, you could better calm down. But also, I like those flavors, but like sparkling water does make me feel sad.
You know what's funny?
Are you
But
sure?
not in
Wait.
drinks, not in drinks, not in drinks, not
Yeah,
in drinks.
mango or grapefruit.
Oh, I don't.
You're like, I don't want it at all.
I don't.
You don't have to drink it. I
Don't drink
definitely
it if
want
you-
one.
I'll have one. I'm
You guys
curious.
need it. This is your second pot of
I
the
want to
day.
try.
I
Thank
know.
God it's gluten free.
Well-
It says on here.
We
I also have like a fierce aversion to La Croix.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Yeah.
Just because the brand is annoying
Yeah,
to you, or because?
I just think I feel worn out.
Yeah, it's a lot. I get
it's
you.
in French?
My bubbly stuff.
Well, let's try it. I'm
yeah. Oh,
curious.
it's not that bubbly.
Cheers.
I'm down to
We're
try.
So
Cheers,
happy
cheers,
to have
cheers,
you.
cheers. I
love you
This is so
guys.
fun. You're the busiest person in the world.
No. Thanks.
Oh, I like it.
I like it a lot.
Oh, how do we feel? No, it's too
I'm just
bubbly.
like- no,
It's
I'm
too-
just
Chasing it. He's chasing it with coffee right now.
All right. Well, this
There
was
had to be one
a
done.
mess.
You know,
yeah.
Coffee too.
I love
point is-
water and I love coffee and I also love marijuana. Those are like my 3 favorite
We
flavors.
can do that instead.
And pie. And also pie. You know what's the problem?
What?
The older I get, the more I just want like chicken fingers, pizza,
That's
cookies.
not a problem.
I think it's because I've just been really like busy these last 2 years. So I've just been like, oh my God, I'm going to go in, and those
preaching to the
comfort
choir.
foods feel nice.
Yeah, they do feel nice. They make me
And
feel
I
very
feel like
safe.
I work so many hours and I'm like, fuck it, I'm getting Jack in the Box right
Yeah.
now. I
Express.
seriously don't care.
Like when I used to have like,
And he doesn't help because he's always like, I like when you gain weight.
Yeah.
I'm like, great.
wait, how old are you guys?
27.
27.
Oh, that's a sweet age. There's also something, but there's also like not to like whatever, and not that there's anything wrong with gaining weight, but there is this thing that happens to your metabolism when you're like, there was one I noticed at 25, and then there was like this other one at 30.
Okay.
Where the things that I used to be able to just like, I would eat a family size thing of Pop-Tarts, and I would wake up the next day and it was fine, and all of a sudden like
It's
25, 70 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then, I lost that. And that never happened again, but I just noticed at 30, like, just micro little, like,
Yeah,
like,
aging
how
is
come I
rude.
can eat 8 pieces of pie? And it's like, no big deal. Like, why am I, like, sugar hungover for 3 days if I eat, like, 6 bags of Trader Joe's cookies?
Yeah, like why? All right, you guys, that's the end of part 1 of our conversation with Jonathan Van Ness. Tune in next time for part 2.